Hi, I'm Brett Swarts, founder of Capital Gains Tax Solutions. In this video, we're going to cover what are 3 things you should never do when you're considering or in a 1031 exchange. You see, if you're like most of our clients who struggle with capital gains taxes when they sell their commercial real estate, you've used a 1031 in the past and you've been able to grow your wealth with it. And you've wanted to defer somewhere between 30 and 50% of your gain. But the struggle becomes when you can't find a deal or don't want to overpay in a highly appreciated marketplace. So what are 3 things you should never do when you're in a 1031 exchange? The first one we like to say is overpay. You shouldn't overpay for a property just because you want to defer the tax. We understand the 30 to 50% of your gain being wiped out is substantial, but there is a solution for that. It's called a Deferred Sales Trust. Why not just use the Deferred Sales Trust instead of a 1031 exchange and buy what we call optimal timing, which means buy whenever you want to. You don't need to buy within 180 days. You don't need to identify within 45 days. In fact, you can buy tomorrow, day 181, or 5 years from now. And here's the best part, you're out of debt, okay? So remember, the 1031 exchange, you must buy something of equal or greater value, which often means you're taking on equal or greater debt. Whereas the Deferred Sales Trust, it's actually just the proceeds that's going to the trust, which means you pay off the debt to the lender, and now you have what's called a cash balance sitting in the trust, which can be used to buy more property at the optimal time, not just because of a 1031 exchange. The second thing you should never do if you're in a 1031 exchange is not have a backup plan. Meaning, if for some reason you can't find a deal, or B, you've identified multiple properties, but they're not going to work out, or even C, that lender's not going to lend, or the last one, D, is you've kind of done the due diligence, you've found some big red flags, some big capital improvements which are needed, and you just don't want to close on the deal. Well, what is your backup plan now, just in case it fails? You should have a backup plan. And in fact, the Deferred Sales Trust is the solution for that, and it takes off all of that pressure that you felt in the past about having to overpay for property or being forced to close because even though the seller won't deal. So make sure you have a backup plan. The next thing you should never do when in a 1031 exchange is not consider your depreciation schedule. One of the best reasons to own commercial real estate has to do with having depreciation, which offsets the income for the rental income that's coming in. So this depreciation offsets it, which means you have less tax and more cash flow. It's again one of the best reasons to own commercial real estate, which you probably know that. But maybe what you haven't considered has to do with the 1031 exchange. When you 1031, the intent is to defer the tax, and you exchange that. But the other thing you're exchanging is also the depreciation schedule, which means you're not getting more depreciation schedule. So let's just say, for example, you've owned a property for 27.5 years and it happens to be multifamily, or commercial property for 39 years. It's going to be fully depreciated. Or you've taken accelerated depreciation in a shorter period of time, which means if you exchange, you're going to have a lower depreciation schedule. So again, the intent is to have depreciation to offset the income. But the challenge is the 1031 exchange makes it travel the schedule, so that's not good. Here's the solution, the Deferred Sales Trust. Why not sell today, move it into the Deferred Sales Trust, and then by partnering with the trust, buy a brand new property and get a brand new depreciation schedule. Let's walk through a quick example. Let's just say you bought a $10 million property 27.5 years ago, and it's a multifamily property. Now you fully depreciated over these 27.5 years. Now your depreciation is 0. Well, if you're going to do a 1031 exchange and you buy, let's say, a $15 million property, you're looking at just an additional $5 million in depreciation. You no longer have that original 10 because you've fully depreciated. Now, with the Deferred Sales Trust, let's say you move that same $10 million into the Deferred Sales Trust and bought that same $15 million property by partnering with your trust, you're going to have a brand new depreciation schedule with all $15 million. So this is a very powerful way to create and preserve more wealth. So those are 3 things you should never do, or better yet, 3 things you should definitely consider when doing a Deferred Sales Trust, and look at the analysis between the 2. Hey, we'd love to teach you more about this, show you our 23-year plus track record, the thousands of closes we've had over the years, have you speak with clients who have closed deals just like you that you own. Reach out to us, call us directly, set up a one-on-one consultation, We look forward to connecting with you. Thank you so much for watching this video.